Dice. Rolls. Dragons. Trolls.
Dadventurous.
With a little bit of Mom Venturous joining the party.
Mm-hmm. Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another thrilling, exciting week with a thrilling, exciting guest joining us. Are you excited so much to be back? You get to listen
I'll
to
figure
us.
out what's going on as we move along, I suppose.
That's all we need. All right, kid, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
Nice.
I stacked my dice yet again.
Did you succeed?
Yeah.
Wait, where are my dice? Give me 1 second.
Is this making it into the final recording?
Are they on the floor somewhere over there?
Hang on.
Oh, like a DM automatically loses the rolls. All right. Kia, I think we win.
Oh, maybe.
Can I have some dice? I am missing a D6, a D4,
No, you just
a
take
D8.
my whole second set.
This is what this podcast is all about. Teamwork. Okay, here we go.
Those better not be my lucky dice.
They're cursed now. I touched them. So, I don't think we have much to talk about other than jumping into the chaos. And so, we're going to jump into the recap if you guys are ready.
So ready.
Okay, so last week, we're going to do a recap and then we're going to do some other stuff. So last week, Kia, you were fighting a dragon.
I fought a surge dragon.
You fought a surge dragon. It was flapping through the fog, through the mist, and it was attacking your ship. You guys were dodging.
It made it break apart via statue.
It did. It was wild magic breathing the ship, and crazy stuff was happening. For example, turning the wood that the ship was made of into wooden sculptures instead.
And jello.
And it turned the floor into jello. It did lots of silly things. In the meantime, you were also attacked by more surge scarabs. Czar was on deck helping you out. You had Beryl and Maud and all those guys fighting. Exciting things were happening. Mm-hmm. The dragon causing general chaos. At the end of the episode, you got a nat 20 perception check, and you heard in the distance a second set of wings.
That sounded different.
They did sound different. And what came in?
None other than Glaciera, the snowy rock.
The snowy rock, for those who don't know, a rock is a massive giant bird.
And
with
not
the
type you find on the ground.
Yeah. And it came in, it tackled the dragon in midair. All of this is happening in midair. And with that nat 20 perception check, you saw that Cabot Cranberry, Calvatia the Bog Witch, and the Mojingle were on the back of this bird.
Because
we're
the Mojingle.
Well, we're going to find out why here in a moment. And Cabot said, "Hello, Kia, isn't this fascinating?" And then the bird dipped a wing down, and in that moment, you realized you could climb on board. So now you're caught up, right?
Sure.
Good.
There's
now,
space up here.
But
Bird's
now
big.
we're going to go back in time. Rewind.
Okay.
1 week ago, Kia, you are unconscious for this because you had some crazy stuff happen. But 1 week ago, you were in your fight against Theodora's attack on Scarlet Hill. And what happened during that attack?
The surge scarabs invaded Scarlet Hill, and they overran the town.
Mm-hmm.
And she stole my surged artifacts.
She did. But what happened during the fight? You were going through portals, right?
Yeah, I was going through portals, and Glaciera, I was on a mountain, and Glaciera came in and grabbed a bunch of the surge scarabs for breakfast.
Uh-huh. So we cut real quick. This is just me playing D&D with myself for a minute. We cut real quick to a cave. And sitting in the cave are Cabot Cranberry, Frogrick the Frogman, and the Mojingle, and they are playing dice. They're sitting on a mat playing dice, and Cabot's like, no, you hold the dice like this. And the Mojingle picks them up, and he tries to eat them again. And Cabot's like, no. And in the meantime, Frogrick is taking notes about the Mojingle. They're still trying to figure out the Mojingle. And the blue beast keeps being like, "Oh, nummy rocks," and he finally gets to eat one, and Cabot's like, "Oh, we need more dice, Frogrick." This is what's happening. All of a sudden, while they're making this noise, they hear a loud whoosh. And they all run to the edge of this cliff, and outside, they see Kia and Flibbit and Gunther hanging on the back of a robot, sliding down the mountainside with Tsar Bloodhoof standing on them and a horde of beetles chasing after them. Surge scarabs.
What a wild sight.
Yeah. And it's pretty close, and Cabot is like, what is this? Is that Kia? And then you slide down the mountain and disappear into another portal. Cabot looks at his friends. Mojingle was like, was that Cat Kia? And he's like, it was. And then way off in the distance, hundreds of miles away, Cabot has great vision. He hears a loud screech. He looks towards the Everpeak, and he sees another flash of light towards the summit of the mountain and a 100-foot giant bird circling the summit. And then the bird lands, he sees stuff going on, and he's just like, what is this? And the Mojingle says, must help Cat Kia. And so Cabot looks to the bird, and it reminds him of someone. And he sets about his plan. Tells Frogrick to hold down the fort. The Mojingle is insistent on coming, and Cabot and the Mojingle set off for the one thing that they think will help, which is Glaciera the bird. But he knows only one other person who ever got to help with that bird, and so the other part of his plan comes to mind, and he thinks about Calvatia. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. Cut to Athon. Calvatia, how's your new mushroom garden going?
It's a work in progress. I've been trying some window shrooms, some bathroom shrooms. Just got
What? Hold
garden
on.
hanging.
Hold on. What is? Can we bump the brakes for a second?
Sure.
What's a bathroom shroom? Is
No,
this like
hanging baskets, different lighting,
That's not
trying
what I
different
thought.
lighting, different moisture.
Okay.
Gotta figure out how I can grow my bog shrooms so that I don't have to go into the bog because, ew.
Do you know that my brain immediately went to like the mushroom head as a toilet seat? That's what I thought you were talking about.
am
No.
actually thought of like a toilet plunger.
Anyway.
Planters, guys, planters.
Okay,
Gotta have my little mushroom plants everywhere. I want to be able to grow them myself because having to march out into the bog, especially lately with all of the action that I've been seeing, having to replenish what's in my lovely little terrarium, I just don't want to be going into all that muck.
You're just tending to it. It's a beautiful day right now. The birds are chirping. The scents of the bog bloom flowers hitting the city especially nice. And are you like tending to the mushrooms, do you think, in their little terrariums? Is this like a curated what do you call it, like greenhouse type situation?
Oh yeah, this is peaceful Calvatia space.
Okay.
Like no one else is allowed. This is in my home for sure.
Okay, so you're bent down over a pot with some crazy creminis. It's the only mushroom that came to mind.
What in the world is a cremini?
This is a place normally just reserved for you. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
21.
21. Well, that's really unfortunate for me because I really wanted you to roll poorly. But you do get a sense of someone standing over your shoulder suddenly.
I don't react noticeably, but I'm going to reach up like I'm still working on my shrooms and take a little something out of my terrarium and ready and spit around and flick it in his face.
So you spin around, and standing right there is Mirabelle, the coffee witch.
Because of course.
And she reaches out and grabs your hand at the same time, and she goes, nice reflexes.
It's like, Mirabelle, you know better than to do that.
I'm sorry.
Anxiety is a
It's
big
my
thing for me.
And then she goes, I brought your coffee. And she hands
go,
you
"Ooh."
a fungal frappe, which
Yes.
is oozing of green mushroom deliciousness.
Have I told you, Mirabelle, that you really need to set up shop in town? I need these daily.
Well, if the flower scour event that we're planning goes off without a hitch, maybe that will be the next step. And then you and Mirabelle go about discussing the new event you're putting on, which is called the Flower Scour, which there's going to be a golden bog bloom flower hidden somewhere in the city. And then she hands you the voucher that she has created for the winner, which is 20 free green bean coffees.
That's a lot of coffees.
Calvatia's really starting to plot if
she can
participate.
Her own contest. About that time, there's a knock at the door, a soft little knock at the door.
What is with today? And Calvatia like resettles herself, like, oh, people in her home, and walks over to the door and cracks it open the tiniest little bit.
Daughter.
What?
Can you please improvise your best Nettle, what was his name, Groundswell? He is here to talk about a certain member participating in community service who is not doing a very good job.
Hello, Miss Calvatia? I have something to speak to you about.
In the background, you hear this like, oh, there's dirt in my fingernails. Keep going.
Is there really no one to deal with Reginald but me?
Well, everybody else got fed up, so, no. Sorry to bother you, but he really is,
The mushrooms are so slimy.
Well...
That I can agree with. All right. I'll be out in a second.
Thank you. He hasn't been doing very well in his service as of late.
Yeah, he's a work in progress.
Okay. You close the door, and in the background, you hear him go, oh, no. And that's about it. So that's what you hear.
I take a big old swig
Mirabelle
of the
just pats
fungal
you on the
frappe that Mirabelle
shoulder.
brought me, and it's just like, this will help.
He says, I don't envy you at all.
I don't envy me. And Calvatia just gathers her things, makes sure that her terrarium's really set, and heads outside.
Okay, you go outside, and outside you see another field of bogbloom flowers. They're setting up for this flower scour event, and outside of this area, you're setting up big fields in the streets of beautiful bogbloom flower stuff. And of course, Reginald Winston Goldsworth is there, still performing his mandatory community service of 400 hours for letting a scraper free in the city. And he is covered in dirt, like way more than anyone should be covered in dirt. He is just a total mess. He has like plants and flowers on him and in his hair. And he just looks like he's about to have a nervous breakdown. He goes, Calvatia, please. There's mushrooms and flowers, and it's just so dirty. Why can't I go back to my auction house?
I'm not quite sure how he got like this.
Calvatia, she casts Mage Hand and uses it to brush him off. So she's not touching him either because you. But she starts to, dusting off all of the extra dirt and the twigs and those kinds of things, and says, Reginald, you really need to learn how to be a little neater in everything that you're doing. It would make everything go more nicely for you.
I'm trying. It's just so dirty.
Well, that I can understand. What is it that you feel you could use some help with?
He just gestures to himself and all the plants and flowers. Isn't my community service almost done?
Not even. Reginald, we haven't even hit the first 100 hours.
Oh, God. Well, I also wanted to give you this. And he hands you the thing, and he hands you a little voucher that says Reginald Winston Goldsworth Community Auction. And on it says up to 100 clip value. It's for your event that I'm having to decorate for.
This will help with your image. Image is everything for you, isn't it, Reginald?
It is, which is why I'm so sad. And about that moment, you, again, quick-eyed, quick-eared, perceptive Calvatia, hears a flap of wings on the breeze. And you feel a darkened shadow kind of approach to the city from the east.
So Reginald, hold that thought. And I'm looking up in the sky.
Slowly, a spot looks like a seagull at first, gets a little closer, kind of looks like an eagle, gets a little closer over the next little bit.
Does it look like an
Just
eagle?
starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more recognizable as it grows to its full size and Glacier the snowy rock.
This is the wrong time of year. These bog bloom flowers are gonna freeze. Oh.
And as she flaps in to town, you hear from the back, Calvatia! Calvatia! It's me, Cabot Cranberry!
I'm going to just go over there for now, and Nettle runs off.
And the bird lands in the street.
Yep. Flowers are... Well, Reginald, this will help you with your community service hours, it looks like. There's going to be a lot to redo.
Yeah, a bunch of them are crushed. And he's just like, I know.
Cabot, is that you? How did you get up there?
I know. It's a fascinating story. Also, this is my friend, the Mojingle. And this crazy, like, Yeti beast peeks from around Cabot. And he goes, Mojingle. And
Calvatia is, like,
and Cabot looks...
visually overwhelmed. This is a lot.
Yeah, and Cabot pats the bird, and the bird lowers its wing down. Kia is in trouble, I think.
Kia?
Yes, you remember Kia.
Yes, of course I do.
And, you know, you're you. And so you, I thought, could come with me, and we could help her. You're the only person I could think of that could ride the bird.
Okay, why would you think I could ride a bird?
'Cause you were there the first time. We rode it back to town. You just didn't like it.
I really didn't like it.
Kia was fighting giant surge scarabs, and I think she was also fighting Czar Bloodhoof.
Czar? Ugh, well, Kia, you know, she is owed by the Bog Witch Council, and how quickly?
Right now.
Okay.
He goes, I packed snacks.
I turn to Reginald. I'm like, I will knock an additional 10 hours off of your community service if you go run and tell Nettle right now.
Okay, you make another perception check for me, please.
10.
Oh, 10. Okay, yeah, you turn to talk to Reginald, and then Reginald runs off, and as you turn back, Mirabelle's just standing right there again. And she's like, I've got it handled.
Thanks, Mirabelle. It'll get handled one way or the other, I'm sure.
Yeah, go help our friend, Kia. And then she reaches into her pack and pulls out a thermos and hands you a second coffee.
Oh, a warm one. Yes. And Calvatia, like, shimmies her shoulders back and straightens her spine and walks up the wing.
Yep. And
very,
as you walk up the wing, Glaciera screeches again. Thank you. And
Calvatia startles a little bit, and some of her coffee like slips out, and she like quickly slurps it off the edge. Can't waste it.
And you are able to reach down, grab a handful of frosty feathers. And Cabot looks at you, and he says, "Are you ready?"
Never.
Wonderful. And the Mojingle peeks around and goes, Mojingle.
Calvatia just like
hand up to
eyebrow
wave.
raise, just
And
it's gonna
Cabot
ignore
goes,
that.
I will explain some of it along the way. He takes off from the ground. You hear Mirabelle down below wave at you and say, "Good luck."
That's disturbing.
I don't wave back. Calvatia's like clutching the feathers really tightly, and she goes, "Thanks, Mirabelle."
All right, now montage. Day 1, you guys set sail from Athon. You know Kia's from Map's Edge. You guys fly across the plains from Athon.
Is the Mojingle? Am I wedged in between the two of them?
Yeah, I think so.
I keep straightening my skirts and trying to give myself a little bit more space, and turning around and looking at the Mojingle, and trying to like occasionally ask him questions.
Yeah, he talks a little bit. He says, "Your flower pretty," and then he like takes a flower from, I assume, your hair or something like that, and just eats it.
Mojingle, I need those.
Okay, and he spits it back up and hands it to you.
Oh. And I tell him he can keep that one. That one's a gift.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Does he put it back in his mouth?
Yeah, of course. So day 1, you land in Map's Edge. You meet up with some of the Map's Edge civilians. You learn about Kia apparently showed up and came through a portal nearby. And she showed up with a crew of people and an airship. Then they set off east to Briarport. Day 2, you guys montage your way out of Map's Edge
Calvatia is busy playing around with some new shrooms in her terrarium and mixing a little bit with the coffee and throwing it off the edge and seeing what happens. And
Also, you have kept a single thermos of coffee for a day and a half.
I gotta make it.
She's rationing it.
I gotta make it last. I have to deal with Cabot and this Mojingle.
Okay, and day 2, you guys land in Briarport. You get the rundown. They put you up at the hotel. They tell you that the crew was setting up an airship and about to head east.
Is everybody just okay with this big bird just coming through here?
That's true, actually.
Rolling the dice.
100-foot icy.
No!
I didn't think they should be.
Flying into Briarport, the townspeople start like screaming and running away. You probably like are flying into town and like Greta starts shooting out like steam missiles towards you guys. You have to dodge them. Have to have a whole conversation where Cabot's like, "Don't worry, we come in peace." And eventually, you guys are able to head down and talk to Greta. At least you like meet her outside town. Explain the situation. They tell you that the ship left just a day ago and was headed east to somewhere no one's been before by ship. This island, far-flung tower, which you have heard of, you know of, but have never been to either.
Okay.
You can look out to the east and
So
you
we're
see
not
this
just
fog
east
bank.
in that general overall.
No. You see this big fog bank, and this big fog bank, right at the very tip top is a little tower, and as you look out in the morning that you're kind of heading out that way, you see it starts putting out, just as you saw, little poofs of arcane smoke and magic. You climb aboard Glaciera one more time.
To the skies and beyond.
I'm getting used to being up so high. Feeling a little more comfortable, at least because I'm in between Cabot and the Mojingle. So
Mojingle's very warm.
I'm in a very nice kind of space.
He probably also is periodically shedding some dandruff on you and making parts of you invisible.
That's kind of fun. I might take some of the dandruff and mix it with my...
Oh, yeah. He's like, okay. And he just like shakes a bunch off and like gets a pile in his hands and pours it into a vial.
And I mix it with my shrooms. I'm experimenting.
Okay, cool. And then this day, Cabot looks at you and he goes, "Now, I think we're going to be getting close today. I don't know what to expect, but she was looking for, like, artifacts, right? Surged artifacts."
Yes, we stole a hat or kept Czar from stealing a hat. Something like that. We have a hat.
And
we got a hat. That's about all we know.
That's all we know. We don't actually have the hat anymore either.
No, we don't.
Calvatia doesn't know that.
No, she doesn't, but it's just funny. And as you guys are sailing along, and at the one point, the Mojingo's like, "I hear combat." And you guys
Maybe
start
here's
listening. And
That's the dragon.
you start noticing on that day as you're sailing out this way, the fog is low, ocean like fog, right? And that day, the tower starts pumping out this arcane mist.
Cabot, you should keep Glacier out of that wild magic-y looking stuff. Stay down in the normal things for now.
She's flying a little bit on her own, but she's taking the cues from Cabot. They have formed a bond of some kind. And so she dips down into the fog. Right at about that time, as she dips down into the fog, you guys see a shadow move through the clouds, and it looks winged.
Cabot, what was that?
I don't know. It looked fascinating. And he goes to pull his journal out again.
Next time, or wait until it's over.
Right. Of course.
Let's, investigate.
And then he kicks Glaciera, and she takes off at a speed.
At a speed.
And through the mist and fog, you hear a loud breath attack happen. You hear some crazy explosions of wood and things like that. And finally, you break free through this opening in the fog, and before you is a crazy airship dragon battle. Dragons that you've seen before, but never like this. This one is armored and scaly. It looks like it's got purple and black arcane sort of scales and it has weird beetle-like wings and all this stuff, and it is attacking this ship. It just got finished breathing a wild magic attack on there, and as you fly in and get closer, you see on the deck Kia, you see Czar Bloodhoof, you see Maud, a couple bloodhounds, and all this stuff, and the dragon just finished lighting the deck up on fire.
So the deck is on fire. So I can see the dragon?
You can see, oh yeah, the dragon is flapping in front of the ship. It just got finished lighting this up. It turns towards you, and just to catch up fully with the episode, Glaciera, she reaches out her talons, grabs the dragon midair. They're both kind of flapping, and lowers her wing down on one side. And you see Kia make an acrobatics check.
Oh no.
Because you have a wing dipped down, and while you see Kia bow out, kind of probably a tiny bit wounded,
Yeah.
look up at the bird, and she is going to make the run up the wing.
I'm going to run up with a 17.
Nice. How does it look?
Oh no.
It succeeds.
I think Kia just sees that and whips around and turns and runs up, puts a foot up on the rail and jumps off onto the wing
Nice.
and runs up.
And Glaciera tips the wing up.
Calvatia! Nice to see you again!
Oh, you
Cabot,
look busy.
you too!
Huh? This is fascinating! And we jump in to the thing where you were about to do something.
I was going to hex the dragon.
Okay. So,
if I may.
you can do that because the dragon was caught off guard. We're going to say Cabot, full focus on flying Glaciera and controlling that and staying on. You guys are able to cast spells. You're able to do things, but certain stuff on the back of a giant bird is going to require some rolls and things of that nature. You cast your hex. Do I have to do anything for that?
The extra damage is only done if I hit with an attack. So I think it just happens. There's no to hit or anything on it. It's a bonus action for me.
Okay. From this moment on, we are going to operate under a little bit of initiative. So can everyone please roll for me initiative? Just to warn you, there will be some top of the round layer action type things.
27.
Dang. I thought I did good.
What'd you get?
22.
Nice.
I mean, you did do good.
You did.
But she got a 27.
She has the alert feat now.
I have
Dang.
a +9 to initiative.
Wow.
And I rolled an 18.
Okay, Kia, you are, of course, because you have been sitting out the majority of this episode, ready to rumble. And so you and Calvatia are going to get to go first, and I am adding the Mojingle to this as well.
Oh no.
Flibbit and the Mojingle after.
First, am I first?
Yeah?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
First of all, the very first thing I do is shout to the people on the ship, I'm gonna leave for the moment. You're doing great.
Barrel's like, good luck!
I'll come back.
Get that dragon off of us! And then you can see they're still putting out fires. Glaciera had put out some of the fires with a frosty breath, but there were still fires on this ship.
So, I am going to turn to Cabot, say, I'm just not going to ask about the giant bird. And I am going to, can I see the dragon right now? Or is it, or
the
is
dragon
it weird
is still, for the
positioning?
moment, in the clutches of Glaciera, and they're both flapping, keeping height.
Okay.
So, yes, absolutely. It is underneath you a tiny bit, / in front of you a tiny bit, because Glaciera's got her talons forward.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to... Have I ever done this? I think I have done this once. I would like to cast Hunter's Mark on this thing.
Yeah, you've never used Hunter's Mark, I don't think.
I think I used it once.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. Hunter's Mark.
Is this within 90 feet of me as I cast it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I am going to first cast Hunter's Mark, which is a bonus action. I'm gonna
Okay.
hone in on that dragon's scaly little scales.
Scaly little scales.
And I am going to draw 2 arrows.
Okay.
My bow. And take 2 shots. 14 for first attack.
14 does not hit.
Pings off the scales. Second
It
attack.
does.
22.
That hits.
Yay. All right. Plus 2 damage.
Okay. Then it is Calvatia's turn.
I lean out past Cabot and I say, "You might want to plug your ears."
What?
And
To
launch.
Cabot?
Yeah.
He goes, he does that thing where he like puts his head against one shoulder and plugs the other ear so he can still hold on to Glacier.
And I'm holding, not what you're supposed to do, but holding one of those mortar tubes so that I can launch a mortar right at this dragon. So I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb.
Nice. Yeah. PSA. Don't try this at home.
Calvatia is a highly skilled individual. Does a 25 hit.
Yep.
So 5d8 damage. I have to roll this.
And which
so
spell
many
was this?
times. Chromatic Orb. So it's
Chromatic
launching the mortar, the mortar
Dang.
shell firework
Wow.
just out at him. It's a real big one. I chose one of the beasties because this guy's a beastie. 21 damage. And what does this look like? Anything special to me?
What?
To Calvatia? Would I have picked a mortar to be the right kind of... I get to choose elemental type. Am I aware
so
of...
this dragon make a perception or investigation check.
I rolled like garbage. An 8. I rolled an 8.
I don't think Calvatia, being Calvatia, has seen a Surge Scarab or has had any experience beyond the natural occurrence of wild magic storms much, because she likes to stay in the city.
I think that I'm going to just theme her after what she's been, because that's how I roll. And it's going to be poison damage.
Okay.
So based off of my whole mushroom skill set.
It looks like a cross between a bug and a dragon.
And so as that hits, this orb hits and coats it with poison, it seems to take the hit like you would expect. So
Cool.
Okay, the dragon's turn.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, the dragon tears free from the grasp of Glaciera with a strength saving throw, and it is going to see if it gets its wild magic breath back. It doesn't for this turn. And so this clash happens. The dragon pulls back apart, and in that pull, it is going to kind of swoop back in towards Glaciera and make 2 swipe attacks towards the bird. But in that dodging, in that forcefulness of attack, you guys are going to have to deal with some stuff if it hits.
I clutch to the feathers in mild panic.
Oof.
Uh-oh. Is that oof?
Wow. So I crit on one.
No.
I got a 19 on the other, and then I got a 1. So I'm doing some like side damage here.
But is this damage on Glaciera?
This is damage on the bird, not you guys. However, in this moment, as Glaciera gets hit, it is a jostle to her flight pattern. It hits the wing a little bit, and she has to surge upwards just a tiny bit and kind of goes vertical. And so you and the Mojingle and Cabot need to make dexterity saving throws to maintain your hold, your balance, or athletics, depending on what you want. If you're clutching or are you trying to dodge with it, it's up to you.
I'm dodging,
Okay.
for sure. Non-natural 20.
A non-natural 20. The Mojingle did so great, actually. I'm going to say Cabot, you see, tips up and he goes, oh no! And he starts tumbling backwards, but the Mojingle with his 20 that he got just reaches out and grabs Cabot and pushes him back in place and then pats him on the head. And
Calvatia.
He goes, this fun.
Calvatia, in her just over-preparedness and kind of anxiousness about everything, was super prepared, and I rolled a 22.
Nice.
Ooh, we're going pretty good.
Okay. It is Glaciera's turn. She adjusts, and she is going to make some attacks on this dragon, kind of at the behest of Cabot, pushing her forward. Kaiju fight, a little bit of a Godzilla versus monster fight, but she does 21 damage to the dragon. The Mojingle's turn. The Mojingle looks over at Kia, and he goes, hi, Kia.
Hi, Mojingle. This is fun, isn't it?
So fun. And he looks at the dragon and he goes, bunch.
Sure.
And so he just gets up. He just steps over you guys super awkwardly. Giant Yeti blue monster just like, excuse me. And he like steps over you guys.
Calvatia's hair all gets like fluffed to the front as it's dragging
As he
across.
walks past you guys and fluffs over you, all of like the tops of your heads go invisible. Your hair is invisible currently. And he
My ears!
and he runs forward up the beak of Glaciera, and he just runs over to the dragon, and he is just going to go punch at it because currently they are clutched together. He actually did really bad. We're going to say the dragon is a little too far away. The Mojingle goes up there and goes to punch, but like there's still air gap. And he just turns back and goes, and shrugs.
Wait, is he on the glacier?
He's still on the bird, yeah.
We're balancing on this big bird.
Yeah, if you want to move, you're welcome to. She'll try to stay balanced. It just means maybe things happen at disadvantage depending on what you're doing. Top of the round, the layer action.
Oh, no.
The dragon is going to do something it already did to you once. It is going to push back away from Glaciera, take its wings in front of it, and go whoosh, and do a wing blast towards you guys, which is yet again another dexterity saving throw as she tries to blow you both off, or all three of you off the bird.
I got 17.
Ooh. Calvatia got a 13.
A
Oh, no.
13. So, Calvatia and the Mojingle start to tumble off of this bird.
Oh, can I do something?
Maybe. What is your plan?
I knew this would come in handy eventually. I am going to reach into my backpack and pull out a short little metal rod, and I am going to extend it.
Oh gosh, I forgot you got this thing.
Extendable boat hook that I got and never used until this moment.
And so Calvatia rolls backwards from the blast
It can reach 10 feet.
and she starts to tumble.
So I'm going to use my action to try and hook you, and I say, not my watch. I'm going to try to hook you.
Okay.
With a boat hook.
Yeah, can you make a, what would we call this? Sleight of hand or acrobatics check to see if you do this. I'm going to give you advantage because nice use of some inventory items. I appreciate
It's
that.
a boat hook. My acrobatics is better. 17.
17. Okay, you, Calvatia, for a moment, you have that fear, that feeling of falling. And you go to roll backwards, you do a backward somersault, and you take a tumble.
This is why flying on birds is not okay.
And just like that, you feel the back of your clothes are hooked. Yeah, and you look up.
Mojingle, grab on!
The Mojingle was going for a tumble, but just kind of in line with that, Cabot's going to go, good idea. I don't remember. I got to look in his inventory, but I'm pretty sure he also had an extendable rod.
He does. Didn't he use it to stand
Yeah,
up
he has
and
the
to
pole
watch
of
the
collapsing.
He
So
used it to
you
stand up
gave
to
me
watch the
this idea.
celebration.
So he also has a 10-foot pole. He speaks a command word and it shoots out. So just like your boat hook, Cabot goes, great idea. And he speaks the command word and the pole shoots out and he's just going to shove the Mojingle, because the Mojingle was tumbling backwards, to keep him in place. And I'm going to do a dexterity check for Cabot as well.
Extendable rods are
Natural
useful.
16. Cabot is able to shove this thing forward and keep everything there. And he goes, great idea, Kia!
Thank you.
How do you pull Calvatia up onto the bird?
I hooked her, and I am just going to yank her up, and would like to try to flip her around onto the bird
Flip her
next to me. Like,
Oh, okay.
I flip the rod around.
Oh, okay.
with
To
her on it.
deposit her?
Yeah.
So you are lifted, you are snagged, and you are deposited right next to Kia on the back of the bird once more, saved by a boat hook.
And I would like to retract the boat hook.
You retract the boat hook right as Cabot collapses his rod at the same time.
Extendable rods for the win.
Yeah.
Calvatia is like, Oh no, we gotta land this thing as soon as possible. Oh boy, I don't know if I can take any more of this. I already don't fly well. Calvatia like reaches into her pocket or her pockets, rummages around, and pulls out this giant green looking sludge that is in
Alright.
a clear coffee cup.
Okay.
So Mirabelle and I have been working on this.
What?
I hope it works. And she chucks it at the dragon. And I need this dragon to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. Oh boy. A 9.
You failed.
I super failed, I imagine.
Can I have some more D4s? I need to,
yes.
I need to roll a lot
There
of
you
these.
go.
We'll start like that.
We're watching the
Red.
mom do math.
No, do no math. So hard. I have more to roll.
Okay. As long as you're keeping track.
25.
Woohoo!
25 acid damage.
So the coffee cup just explodes on the dragon's like chest, and it just everything
really
starts
fragile
sizzling
coffee cup.
and bursting out along all of his scales.
What was the spell? Did you say?
The vitriolic sphere.
Oh, that's cool.
Vitriolic.
We'll say it's like a little bit of the fungal frappe that you are already getting from Mirabelle. And she cranked this mixture up to like 1,000, and so
it's
a
mixed
little bit
in
of
with
that.
some of
Yeah.
that, with some of my
I like
mushroom.
Okay, and you watch as Calvatia explodes a volatile coffee on the dragon.
She's also, as a bonus action, starting to figure out like how she can tie her cape around to like really settle
You do that,
herself
like,
in.
Wrap it around and tie it around your belly. Wonderful. And so it is the dragon's turn. Is going to once again roll to see. Ha ha!
Oh no!
This is not good.
It's wonderful. And so the dragon rears back its mighty head. You see the interior of its mouth as it backs up away from the Glaciera bird. Sparkles of magic forming in its throat. And it goes and breathes out a wild magic breath onto you guys.
Oh no!
Calvatia shields herself.
Okay, Calvatia throws up. I believe it was like a little thing that you had that projected a little field in front of you. Was the idea? So you tap a little gadget on your belt, activates a shield, and you see Calvatia throws up this like protective shield behind you, Kia. But I need you to roll.
No, no.
Whoever
Anything
wants
to
to
block
roll
this.
it, I need you to roll a D12.
Oh, a D12. Oh, right. Cause
Yes, this is the special list.
a 1.
A 1. A 1, you say. So, you guys are holding on to these feathers. This is great. You're holding on to these feathers, right? Of Glaciera. The feathers that you're holding on to detach, and suddenly you look down and you are holding 2 crazy surge birds that look like mini Glacieras.
Wait,
and
they're just like little mini copies of Glaciera?
They are, but they are purple and black and nasty looking, and they turn, look at you, and they screech as she does, and they attack. And so, just in this moment, you guys are going to take a certain amount of damage. That's just how you took it. And these birds, or I guess you're...
How does that work for my shield? Was this a roll to hit?
This was technically, it's not a roll to hit, it was that damage, but they are now hitting. So
Okay.
I will say
shielded for
that you're an 18 for Kia, a 16 for you, no hitty,
8.
and
it
the
hits.
Mojingle a 1. So only Kia gets hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny anyway. You take from tiny little bird creatures 7 damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Those
Well,
have
this
sharp
is like the
beaks.
dragon's breath, and you guys see like from Glaciera's back a bunch of these crazy astral magic birds like break away from her feathers, and start flapping around and causing chaos, and some of them fly towards the airship too.
Oh no.
And so, a little bit of chaos from the breath.
I yell, "Watch out! Tiny birds incoming!"
It's okay, we got it. I'm going to just say Flibbit has been down there helping for this too, and he is just healing people on the ship. He stayed on the ship. He saw you had it covered. Okay. Glaciera attacks. Thank you. She flies back forward. She's going to go for a grapple again. We're doing athletics. A net 20.
Oh, go Glaciera.
And not enough. So she reaches out with her talons, grabs on. She does a little bit of damage from the talon attack. And she grabs back onto the dragon, doing 12 damage. She roars in excitement. And because she grabbed him, the Mojingle stands up from being shoved back to his spot. It's his turn. He looks over and he gives you, Kia, a big thumbs up. And he goes, Migo punch! And he's going to run and he's going to jump
Off
and
the
land
bird.
on the dragon. He doesn't know any better.
Boy.
He's silly. And so he lands on the dragon because they're basically connected. And he is going to do his double punch attack. This time he did much better and he hit with both of those
Yay!
abilities. And the Mojingle punches a dragon for 16 damage.
Nice.
Ooh.
Calvatia turns and looks at Cabot, or I guess Cabot's in front of her, and like leans out, says, "Cabot, where did you find this Mojingle?"
It's a long story.
Me and Kia found him in a cave, and there was a crazy beetle creature that we had to sneak past. We used a hat.
I
It
meant
described.
it a little bit rhetorically.
Well,
He was gonna break into the full explanation.
it was the hat. The hat helped us find the Mojingle. Remember?
And
the
then,
hat that we got.
As you say Mojingle, you look over and he peeks back up from the dragon and goes, Mojingle! And he holds his hand up to wave. And that is the top of the round. The dragon is going to... it is going to use another one of its legendary actions. Slayer actions.
This thing has lots of legendary.
It does indeed. And so, the dragon with the Mojingle on him does a high-speed spin maneuver, and the tail of this beast whips around and does an attack on you guys, not Glaciera. It is aiming for the people on the ship.
No.
I believe I'm still shielded.
You
Shiz.
are still until your turn. Yeah. So you are still shielded.
Can't do anything.
Okay. On Kia. A5.
No. Yay!
On Calvatia. A17.
22.
And on Cabot Cranberry.
Cabot!
He hits Cabot!
No!
Huzzah! With his legendary action. Does a tail attack. Cabot takes 12 damage.
Cabot!
As the tail reaches out, slashes at Cabot. Cabot's holding on barely to the Glaciera control. And with that hit, he is going to make a concentration check to see if he can hold on. Or a constitution saving throw, to see if he can hold on. He rolls a natural 18.
Yes!
Cabot is fine. Kia, it has become your turn once more.
I would like to do the spell, but you would most likely succeed on it because you're a dragon.
You don't know.
It's mean. You have to get a 13.
On what?
Strength.
He does have a lot of strength.
And larger
Would
creatures have
Kia
advantage
know
on it.
that?
Well, she'd assume that a dragon is pretty strong.
That's true.
And
you would know that it is a large creature with, advantage as well. So that's fair.
yeah. I don't know if I can do anything. So I am just going to take 2 shots at this thing.
Okay. Continue as you pull out Scraper's Bane. This is not a scraper, but...
First attack. First arrow. Whoosh. 13.
No.
Second attack. Second arrow. Also 13.
Oh, no. Kia, the
Does not
angle is
hit.
just a little awkward. Glacier holding there. You go to move, fire an arrow. The dragon moves to the side. The arrow whoosh, whizzes off into the background. The other one misses. Whoosh, and you are missing on your arrows.
I am fine.
Calvatia.
Calvatia, really not a fan of this aerial battle. It makes her super nervous about falling off and all of these things. She is going to cast something I don't think I've used before. It's Melf's Acid Arrow.
Oh.
But what it's going to look like for the Calvatia's thing is I'm going to reach into Kia's bag and grab an arrow and put some poison tipping from my mushrooms on it and stick it in my mortar tube to launch it.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
16 does not hit.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, so the janky setup here, it was too loose and rattly in the mortar tube and it goes to launch out and the arrow like launches and then immediately takes a nosedive for the ocean down below.
I am sorry.
You need like a bow, Calvatia.
Well, it's the thought that counts sometimes.
Somewhere down below strikes the fish.
Poor fish. And it is, in fact, the dragon's turn now, not just its legendary action turn.
Oh, right.
But its turn! And so it is once again going to attempt to break free of this grapple. It succeeds!
No, not again.
Barely tears free of the grip once more and is going to take a peek at you guys, take a peek at what's happening with Glaciera, take a peek at the flurry, fluffy blue creature on its belly, and is going to go for a flight and fly towards the airship.
Wait, what about the Mojingle?
The Mojingle is hanging on. And so it is going to fly towards the airship, does not get its breath attack back this turn, and it is going to fly as it does very far. The whole Mojingle's like holding on to the dragon scales going, "Oh, Mojingle!" And it is going to rush over to the airship and do an attack on the ship itself.
Not the ship.
Only 2 hits.
Only 2?
As you see, the dragon swings by just like it had done before when you were on the airship, and it targets the balloon material and it slashes into it, which
Not
the
again.
guys had just fixed. And it targets some of the rigging and it slashes into it. You guys watch as the ship tilts a little bit as half of the basket section kind of detaches and dangles for a moment, and you see people over there struggling. It is now Glaciera's turn. Cabot looks at you, and he goes, "Well, should we go and chase after it?"
Versus what, Cabot?
"Good point!" And he pats Glaciera, and she zooms off after it. As she does, she actually has a much faster flying speed than this thing. So she flies forward, talons out, and she is going to make 2 attacks with her talons on this dragon. For 19 damage.
Ooh.
The Mojingle was hanging on for that. I'm going to roll to see if the Mojingle can keep holding on. He does. He
Yes.
grabs on, he holds on. As he gets close to the ship, it is the Mojingle's turn. I like to think he is going to let go and try to land on the ship. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
All right. He is going to let go, and he's going to go, "Mojingle!" And he's going
like
to
shouting
let
Geronimo.
go and rolls a natural 19 on an acrobatics check. And you watch as he falls, and as he falls, a bunch of his dandruff sprinkles out on all the crew of the ship, and they start turning slightly invisible. And he lands on deck in a big just poof of dandruff, just poofs out and like turns part of the ship invisible as well.
Just like it's
Yep.
like a glass bottom where you can see through.
Yeah. And the Mojingle looks back up to you, and he goes, Mojingle! Again. And it's the top of the next round here. You watch as its eyes suddenly glow bright purpley light, and it is going to open them up, and it is going to fire. And I'm going to roll a dice to see if it's towards the ship or towards you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It is towards you guys. Probably better.
I'm not worried if I fall.
And as this blast of purpley, crazy energy shoots towards you guys, a blinding laser light goes into your vision, and you guys need to make a Constitution saving throw to see if you close your eyes fast enough,
Oh boy.
or else be blinded by this ability.
Oh no.
I'm terrible at Constitution. Why'd you have to
I
say
rolled
that?
a 4.
17.
Oh, nice.
I only have a +2.
Calvatia,
Yeah.
you are, until
no.
the end of your next turn, blinded. I should roll for Cabot. Whoa, Cabot with the 19.
Woo! What about
Oh,
Glacier?
bird. Oh.
Yeah, the bird.
The bird must roll for Constitution. She has a lot of Constitution. Rolled awful. And so Glaciera's
no.
gliding towards. She did her talons attack. She kind of righted herself to get ready, and you see her flash, close her eyes, blink a little bit, and she's starting to screech in, not necessarily pain, but confusion. She's just sitting still now and flapping and flapping. Yep. And
make
Cabot's like,
monster noises.
I'm trying to keep a hold of her, but I think she got blinded.
We need to take that dragon down. I'm going for it. And though this is probably not going to work, basing it on the fact that you roll terrible,
She's
Rude.
calling you out.
it's the only way that it can work. So question. If a flying creature is restrained midair, will it fall?
This will all be based on whether or not this thing has a hover speed or a hover ability. It does not.
That's what I thought, because it's
And
actively
so,
flying.
yes, if you reduce its speed to 0, it is technically counted as falling.
I shout to Cabot.
Okay.
Um,
I'm wondering where this is going.
Can Glacier dive?
Of course! She can dive!
Try to get us as low as possible, far away from the airship.
Okay, what's your plan?
I think I can get this dragon out of the air.
And so...
Wait. Underwater? No, I'm not diving.
What? No, we're not going underwater.
Okay. Calvatia's totally like in just like
I see.
more panic mode. Things are changing, and that's, it's hard.
Cabot has to use his turn to move.
The only thing
right?
is that bird is blinded right now.
It's true. Not casting Ensnaring Strike yet.
Okay?
Thing I'm going to cast, however, is Hail of Thorns.
Am I rolling or are you rolling?
I need to roll to hit first. Non-natural 20?
That does hit.
Yay! 13 piercing damage.
Okay?
You need to make a dexterity saving throw.
No. A 6 naturally.
Oh, yeah, no. You fail, thankfully. So now you take 2 damage.
2 more damage.
As thorns explode in a radius from the arrow impact point.
Okay. You hit it with this thing. Thorns explode. The dragon is furious. And so it is Calvatia's turn.
I will make an attempt though, because it doesn't require it says visual. But I want to make the argument that it's a big ship and I know its direction and there are a bunch of people on it, so I might be able
By
to
sound?
hear them.
Okay. What
Can I
are you
make
trying to do?
that argument?
You-
To levitate the portion of the airship that is currently falling.
Okay.
To hold it up.
Love it.
It's 500 pounds,
Can you
but it
please-
says that I can see. So can I?
Can you
maybe-
make a perception check? I'm going to say with advantage because I enjoy fun ideas.
Nat 20 with that advantage?
Not only can you not see it, you can see it in your mind's eye. And so you...
My attention to detail
Yeah,
is
your
so
attention
strong.
to detail is perfect. The dive hasn't happened yet. Nothing's happened yet. And you hear the shouting of all these people tumbling down.
I toss out my little mirror disc that's
Oh,
also
yeah.
my unseen servant, but I flip it over to the right side. I can't see, but I can feel the difference there.
It's like sandpaper
Yeah,
where there's like
yeah.
a smooth
And
side.
I chuck it so it slides where it just kind of like glides across.
frisbee?
Like at the level that it was thrown.
Yeah,
And just slips right underneath that airship.
nice.
How small was this disc, by the way?
It's a little, like Calvatia doesn't really know, but like a DVD,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
CD sort of disc, like that shiny mirror.
It's so small.
And
But it can hold 500 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so you were
So it's
providing
levitating
a
and it's
decent
just
amount,
not-
and I think everybody would have gone to the other side of the ship. So I think with that, and you hear Beryl go, "Thanks for the help!" And you see her like putting out the last of the fires, and the ship is, for the moment,
No longer listing.
no longer listing, and is temporarily helped.
Calvatia's like wiping her eyes and she goes, "You're welcome, I think."
And at the end of your turn, your blindness is over. And so it is, in fact, the dragon's turn. The dragon eyes unglow purple, and as they unglow, looking right at Kia, because you just hit it with an arrow.
Hi.
And it is going to rush over to you. It is going to clamber on top of Glaciera. It is going to put its feet down and push the bird down and away. It is going to make a bite attack against you. I'm so sorry, but I believe a 24 hits.
Ow. Yeah.
And the bite attack. How you doing health-wise?
Pretty good, actually.
Did you just hit her pretty hard?
Uh-huh. 24 damage. As you are bit by a surge dragon.
Ow, that's good.
Are the rest of us all like on the back
Yeah,
of
you're
the
like
bird just
right
like
there. The
dodging right
tooth
up?
went down and took a bite attack at her. Kia, can you please for me roll a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, no. 4.
The dread.
The dread.
Oh, no.
Okay. You feel a sense of wooziness. You feel a sense of your vision going dark. And for the moment, you feel a sense of that familiar feeling coming over you.
A familiar feeling.
Okay. Glaciera is blind, but knows there's a dragon on her head. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
Glaciera, in this moment, does the thing you might expect a creature to do when something is on its head, and she inverts
Oh no.
and goes to push
I'm
the
the-
dragon off.
I'm the only one that won't get damaged from this.
And so, in this moment of a roll of a high intensity flip over maneuver, I need you guys to make rolls. And I think in this case, it's athletics, because dexterity is not really going to save you. And unfortunately for you, Kia, it's going to be at disadvantage because you are in the
Athletics is
middle
an
of
art.
blacking out.
Calvatia got a 14.
Natural 1 for a 3.
Oh no. You're that evil juggle.
Oh, no.
What'd you get?
14.
Okay. Kia, you feel the edges of your vision start to go black. You feel the sudden whoosh of the bird as it flips over, the dragon separating to counteract this battle. As you flip over, you feel you had Calvatia right behind you. You had Cabot right in front of you. You suddenly feel the effects of that not being the case anymore. And Kia goes for a fall.
I have a thing to say about that. Fall 60 feet per round, and I don't take damage from fall damage.
And so
I'm kind of fine.
And so you fall. In the chaos of this moment, Calvatia, I would like you to roll a perception check.
20.
20. You see Kia fall, and you watch her, you see her, you know, and yet she falls and disappears into the fog. And at a wonderful 60 feet per second, Kia, you tumble. You're rotating over and over, and as you fall, very comfortably speeds.
Yeah, it's like actually, like I like to think that I screamed at first, and then it was like, oh, this is kind of nice.
Are you supposed to be like knocked out, scarab?
Your luckily terminal velocity is not increasing. You're falling at a nice pace. You pass through an opening, and at that moment, you start to get your vision blacked over a little bit. Flash of memory. A couple weeks ago, while back, you in a gas station fighting off your first scraper away from the scrape and finding some fun little items that you took back to the shop. AKA, I'm going to be releasing the prequel episode that we recorded before episode 0.
Episode 0.
As a like little special thing this week for people who want to check it out. It's a shorter episode. It's only a half hour, I think, but we're going to do a little flashback episode. Anyway, you keep falling. You fall. You pass through the fog. It opens up finally, and beneath you, you see the gentle rolling crashing of waves, and you hit the water. And the vision fully blacks out and takes you over.
Part.
The vision takes you over, and you are knocked out. Moments later, your eyes open up. It's later in the day. Standing above you is a dwarf who looks down at you and he goes, "Right on, man. That was one heck of a fall." And he and you sit up and you notice Carl, the surfing dwarf, sitting there with the surfboard, and that is where we're gonna end our session.
What?
I told you they were gonna be coming back. You fell right into my plan by rolling so terribly. It was so perfect. I was going to try to figure it out.
Fell literally.
Haha, you fell into my trap. And so we are going to end the episode there. It was a longer one, I know.
Oh.
Thank you to the mom for reprising her role as Calvatia. Is she done? Maybe, maybe not. There might be one more episode for you. Anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody. Hopefully you had a great listen.
That was a really big bird. What? It was a really big bird. And Kia, like, didn't think of it at first, but she's never seen Glaciera before.
That's true.
It's like, just thought,
That
wow,
was new to Kia.
that's a really big bird.
That was a big bird that Cabot was friends with. So we're going to end it there. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week on
Dadventurous.